again. All right. Hello, everybody. We have the wonderful guest, Vlad Arakcheyev. He's a good friend of mine and a wonderful player in the real estate industry. And we're going to let Vlad introduce himself.
Yes, hi everybody. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm super excited to be here. My name is Vlad. I'm in New Jersey, and I'm a multifamily investor. I like my apartments, and I invest in mostly apartments in Texas, in Houston, San Antonio. That's my focus, and Kansas City market. Also recently have been looking in the Carolina market, only in small particular areas of the Carolina. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for last year and then some. A little bit before that, I started my real estate career being a residential agent in New Jersey, and I sold houses to residents of Jersey who wanted to buy and sell. That's basically how I started my career. So it's been quite a journey coming from uh, an agent to a syndicator. By the way, I'm still doing residential sales, so I haven't given that up. I like it too much.
All right. So, Vlad, one of the questions we have for you that a lot of people newer to real estate face is how to make that transition, not so much for you personally, but for your prior existing relationships, for them to understand, I'm no longer this guy, I'm now this guy, and for them to take you seriously.
Yeah, it's a great and very difficult question because prior to this, I had nothing to do with real estate at all. I used to be a graphic designer. I worked for a advertising agency, and we printed those huge billboards that you see on the side of the highway. Also did like bus wraps and car printing stuff that's huge. And when I made the change to go into real estate, uh, people didn't take me seriously. They were like, "Aren't you a graphics guy?" Because I've been doing it for 15 years, and people are still to this day asking me for like Photoshop advice. And I'm like, guys, I haven't used it in like 2 years. I mean, I can help you with whatever I can, but not really. So it's very difficult to change people's perspective and go from your previous career into a new one, especially when the change is so huge. It's completely, different career. So what I have been doing is branding myself
Mm.
as an investor and constantly putting it on social media, speaking with my friends about it. And the most important thing, educating them on things that I see and hear. Like, for example, if before I was like, oh, wow, did you see that new feature in Photoshop? I don't say that anymore because number one, I don't know the features. And number two, I don't follow it anymore. What I do follow is CoStar news, real estate news, trends where people are moving to, reports on which market's hot, which one's upcoming, what's happening in the industry. And every time I speak with people, I kind of slip it in there and be like, oh, by the way, did you see what's happening with the rates? So this market, housing market. So people's perspective starts slowly changing. And they're like, oh yeah, this guy knows, this guy knows. So now few of my friends who I didn't speak with for like 10 years that knew me as the graphics designer guy, or guy in the graphics industry, they're like, we should speak with Vlad about real estate. And they reached out to me and they're like, what's with the housing market? And I'm like, whoa, look at this.
Ah,
So it is working, but it just takes a while. You have to be patient. It takes, for me, 6 to 8 months at least.
wow.
Yeah, and it's a process, because once you have that association, it just, it's difficult to kind of put the new one on. So your brand and your name means everything. So if your brand and your name is associated with one thing and you want to change it to something else, it's a long, slow process. But it has been working with, like I said, with a lot of talk, and I literally just kind of, I don't try to force it. I just kind of like, oh, by the way, do you know what's happening in the New Jersey real estate, or what's happening, in Texas? Do you see where people are moving to? Wow, look at that! And, look at these
Oh,
reports. Isn't that interesting? So, and people kind of catch on. They're like, oh yeah, it is nice. Oh, it is. So they keep on hearing all the real estate stuff from me instead of Photoshop stuff. So
Debs, I follow your social media post, and our friendship begins in breakout rooms over Zoom in real estate. So I only knew you as Vlad, the real estate guy,
yeah.
but as you know, so many of our peers, face that challenge of um, making the transition internally, but also externally. So you're saying showing people that you're an expert, not telling them now you're an expert. That's the key on social media and in your interactions.
Yeah, that's the big thing, because if you're gonna try to prove something to them, it's not gonna work. People don't want to be, pressured into stuff, and they don't want to be, constantly bombarded by this thing. But if we just naturally having a conversation, just two friends sitting in a bar or something like that, and you can say, and I can say, uh, oh, by the way, do you see what's happening there? Like, let's say, I don't know, Tesla is moving to Texas or building something, and be like, oh yeah, you see all that job movement over there, and that's why we're looking at apartments there. It's a hot market that appreciated by, let's say, them 20% or something like that. I mean, so you can just throw in these figures, and people on the back of their mind were like, oh yeah, look at that, that makes sense. So you position yourself as an expert, and people will look at you as an expert, because as soon as you position yourself that you know something, they're gonna come to you with questions. Like recently, I'm doing a short sale here in New Jersey, just a regular house, no big deal. So I'm talking about it so much, short sale this, short sale that. People come to me and they're like, so how do you do short sales? And I just started with the
Yeah.
short sale process, and it's a long, difficult process. And I kind of positioned myself where I worked on it for so long, because it took like 3 months.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's painful, let me tell you. So people come to me with questions. They're like, oh, what do we do now? What do we do next? How does this work? So if you position yourself at that level, then people will come to you with questions. And that's, I just like helping people that's pass on to what I've learned.
But I got to tell you, my favorite of your social media posts was the one where you had to walk pretty far from your car to get to the house. Then the house itself is really beat up, and you're thinking to yourself, "Why am I even looking at this listing?" But you persisted further. Then you got to the waterfront, and the light bulb moment goes on of, "Oh, okay, this is why I would be interested in this property." Is there are not many houses, pretty far to the left, pretty far to the right, and beautiful right on the water. That was one of your best posts. So I hope I appreciate following you. You have quite a bit of good insight. That was an eye opener for me not to so quickly dismiss a listing. What
Yeah,
you
I
want to
know
tell us
what
a
you
little?
mean. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and do a shameless plug for yourself of what you're currently up to in multifamily.
Oh, the basically right now we are working with a few groups. I don't try to spread myself too thin. I like to work with a particular operator. Being an operator myself, I like to connect with people that I know, that I worked with for, let's say, 8 months to a year. Right now, I'm working with Massive Capital. How I know them, they're part of Jake and Gino, and I'm part of Jake and Gino Mastermind. Bid with them for a while and connected with them since they're in Texas. I'm buying in Texas. We connected, and naturally, literally speaking, every single day, underwriting approximately 10 to 12 deals a week. So Texas market is hot. We like it, and we are taking deals down as high as, well, this is actually the
bigger one.
highest count, 419 doors. It's Northeast Dallas. We closed on it in November, and we are back raising. So there's few spots available if you're looking to be an LP or thinking of getting into multifamily. It's for accredited investors only. So please reach out. I'm more than happy to. And if this is not the opportunity for you, totally fine. At least let me tell you why investing in multifamily is such a big thing and how it can help you make money and, of course, save on taxes. So that's one of the big things. So reach out. I'm more than happy to help.
Thank you, Vlad. You know, for the people making that transition, or like maybe let's just say they're early in the transition, could you speak to the value of being in a mastermind?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Initially I was thinking, what for? I mean, I can listen to podcasts and audiobooks and things like that, and you can do that definitely. But I always give this example. Let's say you trying to learn how to ski, right? You can go up the mountain 20 times, fall down like 20 times, and eventually by maybe the third, fourth day, if you're lucky, learn how to ski well, right? But if you just take 2-hour class, pay $100 for it, they're gonna teach you how to ski within 2 hours. So what's more valuable for you here? Is it $100 and learn how to ski and be, let's say, be very good at skiing, or spending 3 days and, falling and, God forbid, breaking something? Same thing here. So you can do all that. You can learn podcasts, books, etc., but it's going to take you twice as long if you're going to join a mastermind. And you can pick anyone, whichever you click with, whatever you gel with better. So in my case, it's Jake and Gino. So I picked them, and I immediately connected with the group in Texas. And it was easy for me because I was given that information. I know who the major players are, what they're doing, how they're operating. So it really was easy to connect with them and learn. The education is invaluable, but the connections are even greater. So it's all about connecting with people that do deals in that market. Let's say I'm in New Jersey. How can I buy stuff in Texas? Right. So that's how you do. You connect with operators there. So in my opinion, being in a mastermind in this community is huge. And especially you can leverage them. As being a new guy coming into this multifamily space, you need brokers, lenders to take you seriously. So you can leverage others and say, my team has done so many deals. My team has been in the game for 5 years, 10 years. We went full cycle 3 times, even though you haven't done it, but you can say my team. So brokers will take you more seriously, because if you're gonna say, I'm a new guy, but I'm really, really good, trust me, yeah, they're just gonna hang up on you. So that's not how it works. So leverage is huge.
Yeah, the longer I'm in commercial real estate or just any type of real estate, when people say it's all about relationships, they're not overstating it. If anything, it's an understatement. The three word sentence I hear all the time that Vlad just described is who, not how.
Yeah.
Education's great. Don't get me wrong. It's a foundational piece. You have to have it. But to really get to the next level where Vlad is at, and I'm really proud of you, Vlad, is really is the who. Okay, that's a great plug for why people should be in a mastermind. But why don't you tell us how people can get a hold of you? I never want to forget that part of the interview.
Of course, yeah. I'm all over social media. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Vlad Arakcheyev, Arakcheyev. You can look me up. There's not a lot of Arakcheyevs out there. So I'm pretty open to connecting. You can also email me Vlad and my company name is Zontic Ventures. So Vlad at Zontic, ZONTIK Ventures.com. So, but social media is one of the best ways to reach me. Absolutely.
That's wonderful, Vlad. I appreciate you coming on to the CRE Spotlight. It's been a hoot. Thank you so much, my friend.
Of course. Thank you so much for inviting me. I had so much fun.
Thanks, Vlad. We'll have you back on too for a follow-up topic someday. How's that?
Absolutely. I would love it. Yeah, one thing I love is talking about real estate nonstop. So once I talked at MM5, Multifamily Mastery 5, from 7 a.m. till 2 a.m.
Oh my God.
I lost my voice twice. That's how much I love real estate.
Well, the passion definitely shows through, my friend. That's great.